Hello, everybody. Welcome, everyone, to the 2017 Miss USA preliminary competition. How y'all doing tonight? All right. Well, my name is Nick, and for the past several years, I've hosted this very show. But sadly, not tonight. You see, the entertainment business can be a cruel beast, folks. And I'm getting a little bit older, and quite frankly, I don't have the sex appeal I once did. But I've got some great news for you. My replacement tonight is the incredible Alex Worley, a former contestant who hosted the telecast a couple of years ago in Baton Rouge. So let's hear it for her. But I do have some bad news. Unfortunately for you all, I do still write the script for this show. So as always, tonight's swimsuit competition will be chock full of my patent-pending, cheesy, rhyming couplets. That's right. For example, if a contestant is into recycling, you might hear, collecting trash in her sash, it's so-and-so. Maybe if a young lady is joining the circus, you might be treated to, this future clown is chasing the crown. You guys get the idea. So, I just caught a glimpse of myself in the monitor. I look a lot like Pee Wee Herman tonight. Sorry about that. As much as I want to stay up here and impersonate a host, it appears security is getting ready to pounce. So I've got to go, but let's start the show.
Gilbert, Nebraska.
Lauren York, Nevada.
Sarah Musso, New Hampshire.
Tommy Berg, New Jersey.
Ashley Mora, New Mexico. Hannah Lupa, New York. Katie Coble, North Carolina.
Raquel Wellington, North Dakota.
Dinah Lee Baxter, Ohio. Alex Smith, Oklahoma.
Liz Denny, Oregon.
Cassandra Ott, Pennsylvania. Kelsey Swanson, Rhode Island.
Megan Gordon, South Carolina. Tessa D, South Dakota. Allie Sutton Heathcote, Tennessee.
Nancy Gonzalez, Texas.
Bailey Jensen, Utah. Madison Trimbicota, Vermont.
Jacqueline Carroll, Virginia.
Alex Carlson Hilo, Washington.
Lauren Roush, West Virginia.
Skylar Whitty, Wisconsin.
Michaela Shaw, Wyoming.
Audience, can we put our hands together one more time for these beautiful girls? Aren't they gorgeous? Who's our winner tonight? Well, my name is Stephanie Kammer. I'm the head choreographer for the Miss Universe organization. The contestants have been working so hard all week to put on a great show for you. So remember to applaud loud and often tonight. All right, it's now my pleasure to introduce our host for the evening. Please welcome TV host and founder of Empowerista, Alex Worley.
Oh, thank you so much, Stephanie. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here at Mandalay Bay Resort, Las Vegas for the 2017 Miss USA Preliminary Competition. Yeah, you can applaud to that. Before we get started, I have a very important question for you guys. Who do you think is going to take home the crown on Sunday? I'm pretty sure that all of these contestants are very loved because I think I heard every single state, and they are all so deserving. So make sure you guys do your part, because this year you can vote your favorite contestant into the top 10. There are 4 ways to vote: Voti, Twitter, the Miss U app, or at vote.missusa.com. Head on over to missusa.com after tonight's show for more details. Now, for those of you watching tonight's stream live on Facebook, you might be wondering what the deal is with the donate button on the bottom of your screen. Well, tonight I'm so happy to announce we've partnered with Facebook Live Donate. And by clicking below, you can make a contribution to one of the Miss Universe organization's charitable partners, Smile Train. We'll tell you more about the great work Smile Train does a bit later on in the show. But right now, I'd like to bring out my co-host for the evening, evening. Put your hands together for Miss USA 2016, Deshauna Barber. Incredible as always.
Thank you, Alex. You look stunning as well.
Thank you. Can you believe you're here 1 year later?
I can't. And every time I look at the contestants, I think, man, I wish I could do this another year, but I can't. I asked for extension. They said no. Literally.
Oh, I wish we could have more of you too, because you have just been the definition of confidently beautiful. You represented the U.S. so beautifully, and then also split your time as an Army captain. Wow, is this girl incredible or what?
Thank you.
What was that like, having both commitments?
You know, at first I was incredibly scared. I didn't know how am I going to be able to handle still being able to fill my commitment to the military and still being able to be an awesome Miss USA. But the Miss Universe organization made sure to leave open 1 weekend a month so I can get down there and be able to serve my country. So I'm thankful for them.
That is so amazing, and we are so thankful to you. You inspired women around the world, including myself. But like it or not, it is that time to figure out who is next in line to wear the one-of-a-kind Miss USA crown. Let's meet our panel of judges who will help make those difficult decisions.
After becoming the first contestant to compete in her Miss USA state pageant in a hijab and burkini, she was whisked off by New York to become a fashion icon with her manager, Kareen Roitfeld, and put on a cover of CR Fashion Book. Signed by IMG models, she walked in both New York and Milan Fashion Weeks for designers Kanye West and Max Mara. Ladies and gentlemen, Halima Aden.
And she is the Senior Director of Commercial Endorsements and Business Development at WME IMG, where she's responsible for identifying and coordinating non-traditional licensing and branding opportunities for talent across the globe. Vanessa Gringer.
This actress, TV host, and model was crowned Miss Hawaii USA on her first try in 1997. Later that year, she went on to become Miss USA before eventually taking home the Miss Universe crown in Miami Beach. Brooke Lee.
And she's an entrepreneur and the creator of DoSomething.org and Dress for Success, which helps women transition from welfare to work in 22 countries. Her latest venture, Crisis Text Line, is one of the first big data for good organizations. She is the author of 4 books and a board member of McGraw-Hill Education. Nancy Loveland.
He's the Senior VP Artist Development at RCA Records and has orchestrated and directed the production of major tours and events for numerous music legends, including Beyonce, Madonna, and Bruce Springsteen. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Light.
As Senior Vice President of Corporate Communications, she oversees a global team of experts responsible for building and delivering strategic communications for all aspects of IMG's business. Maura McGreevy.
She made history and broke barriers as the first African-American woman to be crowned Miss USA and went on to be first runner-up at Miss Universe in 1990. Ladies and gentlemen, Carol Gist. Let's have another round of applause for our judges. So everyone, last night, they interviewed each contestant individually, and tonight they'll cast their votes for swimsuit and evening gown.
The contestants will be back out here shortly, and when they walk across the stage one by one, Deshauna and I are going to tell you a little bit about them. And for the 10th year in a row, their bio will end in one of Nick's Dr. Seuss-like rhymes. You just gotta accept it, people. It's tradition, okay?
So, are you guys ready to learn more about the girls? Then let's check them out in their yandy.com swimwear as we begin the 2017 Miss USA preliminary show with the swimsuit competition.
Alabama.
Bailey has made it her mission to fight for children. At 18, she lobbied before the Legislative Oversight Committee for the first anti-bullying license plate in her state. She'll save the day if the kid's in harm's way. Alabama.
Alaska.
Alyssa is a television host and motivational speaker. In 2014, this Stanford University grad founded her own company manufacturing wooden art pieces. One thing's for sure, she's an entrepreneur. Alaska.
Arizona.
Tommy was abused and briefly homeless before being adopted into a loving household. This 26-year-old is now a motivational speaker for at-risk youth. Proof that adoption is a wonderful option. It's Arizona.
Arkansas.
Erin is currently at Baylor University on an academic scholarship, double majoring in marketing and broadcast journalism. This history lover is a distant relative of former President Andrew Jackson. It's no mystery as to why she loves history. Arkansas.
California.
At just 12, India was already 6 feet tall. This 20-year-old model is currently studying business entrepreneurship and plans to eventually go to law school. When she's in court, other attorneys feel short. California.
Colorado.
Sabrina is a first-generation high school graduate who currently works as a full-time model. This 21-year-old former softball star can still throw a 60-mile-per-hour fastball. She might look sweet, but this model throws heat. Colorado.
Connecticut.
Olga is the marketing manager at a luxury car dealership. This former Miss Teen USA contestant speaks 3 languages and recently began studying martial arts. She'll laugh at your Ford as she's breaking your board. Connecticut.
Delaware.
Mia is currently a student at Delaware State University, majoring in art education. This 20-year-old's hobbies include speed painting and sculpturing. It's clear that art has captured her heart. Delaware.
District of Columbia.
Kyra graduated from South Carolina State with a degree in chemistry. Her greatest passion is helping children develop a fondness for science, technology, engineering, and math. She can join your alliance if you like math and science. District of Columbia.
Florida.
Lynette is currently a law student at Nova Southeastern University. Born in the Dominican Republic, her ultimate goal is to help fellow immigrants achieve the American dream. It's been quite a journey for this immigration attorney. Florida.
Alabama. Alaska. Arizona. Arkansas. California. Colorado. Connecticut. Delaware. District of Columbia. And Florida. Georgia.
Deanna was a finalist on season 8 of The Voice. This 6-foot-tall crooner is also an athlete, voted MVP of her high school volleyball team as a senior. She'll slam down a spike while rocking the mic. Georgia.
Hawaii.
Julie speaks 3 languages and was valedictorian of her high school class. In her spare time, this 23-year-old animal lover volunteers at a homeless shelter. She's not only smart, but she's got a big heart. Hawaii!
Idaho.
Cassie has a degree in fashion merchandising and design. This 25-year-old vintage hat collector currently works as an event planner and fashion consultant. Fashion is her passion. Idaho.
Illinois.
Whitney booked a Broadway show at 6 and is currently captain of the Chicago Bulls dance team. This 25-year-old was the featured dancer on 3 episodes of Fox's hit show Empire. She'll dance when given the chance. Illinois.
Indiana.
Brittany is an aspiring fitness model who recently lost 20 pounds. She's an advocate for skin cancer prevention as doctors once discovered 3 cancerous sites on her body due to years of tanning. It's always a win to take care of your skin, Indiana.
Iowa.
Kelsey is a hair color specialist who put herself through cosmetology school. This former basketball star used to practice her craft by cutting her dog's hair. She gives a great cut, whether you're human or mutt. Iowa.
Kansas.
Catherine was a scholarship volleyball player at the University of Kansas. She played 5 years for the top 10 team briefly before pursuing a pro career in Europe. Making spiking look striking, it's Kansas.
Kentucky.
Madeline studied abroad at Cambridge and recently completed her degree in molecular and cellular biology at Vanderbilt. This 22-year-old M&M fan can even rap the periodic table of elements. This young lady is science's Slim Shady, Kentucky.
Louisiana.
Bethany was an All-American cheerleader in high school. This 21-year-old enjoys flying her dad's helicopter and plans to get her private pilot's license in the future. This showstopper feels at home in a chopper, Louisiana.
Maine.
Brooke currently works as an aesthetic and post-surgical nurse. This 26-year-old ultimately wants to be a midwife with her own women's birthing center. If you're giving birth, then it's certainly worth knowing Maine.
Georgia. Hawaii. Idaho. Illinois. Indiana. Iowa. Kansas. Kentucky. Louisiana. And Maine.
Has traveled the U.S. as a cheerleading choreographer. This extreme sports enthusiast has climbed and summited Mount Shasta and biked over 100 miles up the Pacific coast, pushing herself to extremes while coaching cheerleading teams, Maryland.
Massachusetts.
Julia is a New England Patriots cheerleader and TV host. This extreme sports enthusiast has been skydiving, bungee jumping, zip lining, and swimming with sharks. This fearless lady cheers for Tom Brady, Massachusetts.
Michigan.
Krista was recently diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. This 24-year-old now visits schools to educate and inspire individuals who also live with the disease. If your blood sugar's high, she's your greatest ally, Michigan.
Minnesota.
Meredith is obsessed with comics and even had a Captain America-themed 18th birthday party. You'd never guess it, but this classical dancer has won 3 eating competitions. This comic book fan eats more than you can. Minnesota.
Mississippi.
Ashley recently helped her grandmother overcome illiteracy. She's working on her master's in school counseling and wants to become Secretary of Education one day. To learn how to read, she's the one that you need, Mississippi.
Missouri.
Bailey has been a flight attendant for Delta Airlines for almost 3 years. She has been to 4 continents, 16 countries, and all 50 states, traveling across this great nation for both work and vacation. It's Missouri.
Montana.
Brooke was a varsity golfer all 4 years of high school. This 20-year-old media arts major still enjoys hitting the links with her golf pro father on the weekends. Life's more fun when you're a hole-in-one like Montana.
Nebraska.
Jasmine enjoys making motivational YouTube videos. This 20-year-old once teamed up with Tim Tebow to start a prom event for those with special needs. After Tebow lent her a hand, she did something grand. Nebraska.
Nevada.
Lauren has several pets, including snakes and tarantulas. This full-time print and runway model is an avid kickboxer and once appeared in a Lady Gaga video. With beauty and grace, she'll show her poker face, Nevada.
New Hampshire.
Sarah was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder that led to sporadic hair loss. This professionally trained singer once worked undercover with the police department in her home state. This music lover once went undercover. New Hampshire.
Maryland. Massachusetts. Michigan. Minnesota. Mississippi. Missouri. Montana. Nebraska. Nevada. And New Hampshire. New Jersey.
Chavi has years of training in Indian classical dance. She is an advocate for women's empowerment, partially because her grandma was married off at just 10 years old. With her sights on women's rights, it's New Jersey.
New Mexico.
Ashley's blog promoting healthy bodies has followers in over 40 countries. This fitness instructor consumes 15 pounds of fruits and vegetables each week thanks to juicing. Looking good in her suit thanks to veggies and fruit. New Mexico.
New York.
Hannah is a reporter for a nationally televised sports network. This former dance choreographer was a platinum medalist in tap dancing. Let's hear you clap, because this contestant can tap. New York.
North Carolina.
Katie was second runner-up at Miss Teen USA a decade ago. She says there are 2 things in this world she's passionate about: being a spokesperson for breast cancer awareness and mayonnaise. She could eat mayo all day-o. It's North Carolina.
North Dakota.
Raquel enjoys deep-sea fishing and graphic design. She was born in the Philippines and recently went back for the first time to help renovate a home. Off to Manila to help build a villa, North Dakota.
Ohio.
Dinah Lee was recently accepted into law school. This 24-year-old once took coding classes and currently runs her own tech business. This future lawyer is her own employer. Ohio.
Oklahoma.
Alex plays guitar, piano, and the ukulele. This 22-year-old men's fashion stylist is currently working on her debut pop music album. She makes a swoon while playing a tune. Oklahoma.
Oregon.
Liz is a freelance makeup artist who operates her own business. This 26-year-old Miley Cyrus fan plans to return to school and get her doctorate in psychology. It's cool to return to school when you're Oregon.
Pennsylvania.
Cassandra used to always watch Miss USA with her grandmother. After her beloved mom passed away recently, this future nurse decided to compete in her honor, hoping the crowns placed upon her in her grandmother's honor. Pennsylvania.
Rhode Island.
Kelsey was once a passenger in a car that was struck by a drunk driver. While in the hospital, a neurologist discovered she had a brain tumor. It's not a rumor, doctors removed that tumor. Rhode Island.
New Jersey. New Mexico. New York. North Carolina. North Dakota. Ohio. Oklahoma. Oregon. Pennsylvania. And Rhode Island. South Carolina.
Megan is currently serving as a nursing assistant at a children's hospital. She learns how to meditate during a trip to India, and now it's part of her daily routine. Every now and then, you should find your zen, like South Carolina.
South Dakota.
Tessa interviews powerful women on her podcast called Fiercely Female. This future nutrition and fitness personality currently works as a wellness coach. Bear witness to her fitness, South Dakota.
Tennessee.
Allie Sutton is an actress who recently starred in the sports drama Remember the Goal. She has played piano for 14 years and was the only girl in her high school's drumline. It's not a bummer when you're an actress and drummer like Tennessee.
Texas.
Nancy enjoys surfing and knows how to play close to 20 musical instruments. She's a first-generation American who would like to start a cosmetics line. With music in her genetics, she's got love for cosmetics. Texas.
Utah.
Bailey plans to get her master's degree in marriage and family therapy. She's the first ever daughter of a former Miss USA to compete for the same title as her mom. Hoping the crown gets passed down, it's Utah.
Vermont.
Madison is the social media manager of the admissions department at her college. This fashion and retail merchandising major once created a line of dresses that won her lunch with Tim Gunn. Able to cash in on her love for fashion, Vermont.
Virginia.
Jacqueline lettered all 4 years as a college volleyball player. She's currently pursuing her master's in forensic psychology and wants to be a profiler for the FBI one day. It's pretty fly to join the FBI when you're Virginia.
Washington.
At 13, Alex was a dancer for the WNBA's Seattle Storm. This 23-year-old has her concealed weapons permit and enjoys going to the shooting range. This dancer's a stunner and licensed gunner. Washington.
West Virginia.
Lauren is currently pursuing her Master's of Education degree. This future high school English teacher's father has her picture tattooed on his arm. How about that? She inspired a tat. West Virginia.
Wisconsin.
Skylar became a published author at the age of 13. She currently runs a blog that was viewed over 100,000 times last year by people in 72 different countries. Keeping readers on the hook with her blog and her book, it's Wisconsin.
Wyoming.
McCullough started playing violin in the 2nd grade, eventually earning a scholarship to play in college. She cooks just like her great-great-grandfather, who was a baker for the King of Denmark, making meals on the griddle while playing the fiddle. Wyoming.
South Carolina. South Dakota. Tennessee. Texas. Utah. Vermont. Virginia. Washington. West Virginia. Wisconsin. And Wyoming.
All right. What'd you guys think? You're probably wondering what I'm doing back out here. Well, the hosts went backstage to change, so I kind of snuck back up here to remind those of you watching tonight's show on Miss USA or Miss Universe's Facebook pages that you can change a child's life by giving to Smile Train via the Facebook Live donate button at the bottom of the screen right now. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more worthwhile cause. Take a look.
We are about to jump on board the Smile Train.
Since 1999, Smile Train has provided over 1 million cleft lip and cleft palate surgeries in over 85 countries. These surgeries cost as little as $250, which is an insurmountable cost for a lot of people in these countries. It's a cost that's doable for us. Even $100 can get someone halfway to a surgery. I really hope everyone will consider this an opportunity to change not only an individual's life, but a family and a community. They're changing the world by giving people an opportunity to smile. They're able to provide free cleft surgeries 365 days a year. They are there with the patient and with the family every step of the road. The people who work for this cause, it's their passion. They care so much about every patient they work with.
Merci, Smile Train!
This is such an unbelievable opportunity. You can literally save someone's life. You can give them a future. Now that is something to smile about.
How about that? Definitely a worthwhile cause, so please keep pressing that donate button and continue to give what you can. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're just moments away from bringing all 51 contestants back out here in their evening gowns, which means I'll once again be cruelly forced off the stage so our real hosts can share the spotlight that used to shine so brightly upon me. But before I exit stage left, I wanted to talk about what a great group of contestants we have this year. Yes, they're strong, they're smart, they're confident, they're tan. They are everything that I wish I was. Check it out.
I was born in Kiev, Ukraine, and when I was 3 years old, my family immigrated, my brothers and me, to the United States.
As an Indian American, I came to America when I was 4 years old. My family at the time had very limited means. We actually only came here with $500.
I'm African American and Native American, and I represent a diverse America.
I'm so excited to be competing at Miss USA, and I'm going to say that in Russian. Я очень в восторге, чтобы участвовать в Miss USA.
Being multicultural and having diversity is something that's been a huge part of my life. I hope to bring that diversity aspect to a nationwide level.
Through all the struggles and trials, we managed to make it to where we are, and I think it just shows that the American dream isn't just a dream, it's a reality.
The Utah mountains are so beautiful. The first time that I rappelled, I actually jumped off Corona Arch, which is in southern Utah. You're up so high, so you have such a beautiful view. I mean, it's just kind of an adrenaline rush.
I am an avid water skier. I slalom ski, so that is skiing on one ski.
I have been riding dirt bikes for about 13 years. As a model, a lot of my time is spent in a lot of hair and makeup. It's an opportunity for me to really let my hair down and take all my makeup off.
I'm a scientist at the United States Nuclear Regulatory Commission.
I work for a show on New England Sports Network.
I work as an interior architect at a commercial interior design firm.
I am the assistant director of recruiting for the University of Kansas football team.
I wanted to graduate from a university and work in oil and gas. It's a male-dominant industry, so I saw a really good challenge and I went ahead and took it.
I am on the cusp of completing law school, and I hope to practice entertainment law and use that education and that experience to help regulate pay between men and women in the entertainment industry.
As a woman in science, I can see firsthand how women are able to change so many aspects of STEM and engineering and mathematics, whether we're in the laboratory or working for a governmental field. We have leadership abilities.
I wanted to get directly to the source and propose legislation that could implement change for women.
Wow, what an incredible group of women. Remember that voting is now open to put your favorite contestant in the top 10. You can vote up to 10 times per account per day via Voti, the Miss U app, Twitter, and at vote.missusa.com. Head on over to missusa.com for more details.
The voting is open until May 13th. Now, in case you didn't notice, Deshawn and I have both changed into new gowns, so I think that means it's time to see what our contestants look like in theirs. Let's begin the evening gown preliminary competition. Take it away, Stephanie.
Alabama.
Bailey first realized she wanted to be a teacher after going on a mission trip to Mexico when she was 7. Now 20, she's currently at Troy University majoring in elementary education. Alabama.
Alaska.
Alyssa studied abroad in Spain, and while there trekked around Western Europe. Upon graduating, this 27-year-old backpacked through Central and South America, and to date has been to over 30 countries. Alaska.
Arizona.
Prior to learning English, Tommy communicated via sign language due to her biological mother being deaf. She enjoys hiking and horseback riding, but boxing is her favorite form of exercise. Arizona.
Arkansas.
Erin has been a competitive cheerleader for 13 years and stays in shape by running obstacle courses. This 20-year-old avid reader plans to work as a broadcast journalist in the sports field. She is Arkansas.
California.
India was once a contestant on the hit show America's Next Top Model. She speaks fluent Mandarin, plays the violin, and enjoys watching sports documentaries in her spare time. California.
Colorado.
Sabrina is currently saving money for college so she can eventually graduate debt-free. She's passionate about health and fitness and enjoys hiking and snowboarding in her spare time. Colorado.
Connecticut.
After tearing a ligament in her foot, Olga became interested in pageantry because she was no longer able to play high school basketball. This 27-year-old recently finished a marathon in under 4 hours. Connecticut.
Delaware.
Mia is proud of her volunteer work with Best Buddies and the Special Olympics. One day, she plans to open her own community center and provide therapeutic art opportunities to those in need. Delaware.
District of Columbia.
Kyra is currently a scientist at the United States Nuclear Regulatory Commission. This 25-year-old was born in Naples, Italy, and coaches a girls' basketball team in her spare time. District of Columbia.
Florida.
Lynette hopes to be a role model for young women and plans to be a Supreme Court justice one day. This bilingual 25-year-old baseball fan is competing in her 15th pageant this evening. Florida.
Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, and Florida. Georgia.
Deanna enjoys sketching and creating clothes and plans to become a world-renowned fashion designer. Her passion is working with kids, so she frequently visits children's hospitals to sing to them. Georgia.
Hawaii.
Julie's started playing violin in the 2nd grade and was concertmaster of her high school orchestra. This first-generation immigrant's nickname is Juliefish because she once built her own jellyfish tank. Hawaii.
Idaho.
Cassie believes there's something charming about the golden age of Hollywood and prefers films of the 1940s and 50s. As a child, she wrote, directed, and starred in her own comedy show, Idaho.
Illinois. Whitney is currently pursuing her degree in broadcast journalism. Her future goals include acting on a drama series and starting a foundation that supports inner-city youth affected by gun violence. Illinois.
Indiana.
Brittany works as an interior architect and enjoys repurposing furniture in her spare time. This 27-year-old has played piano for several years and has competed in over 20 pageants. Indiana.
Iowa. Kelsey says Catholic school taught her the importance of being a role model in her community. This 26-year-old proudly volunteers at a youth shelter, helping children with their homework. Iowa.
Kansas.
Catherine is currently the Assistant Director of Recruiting for the University of Kansas football team. Her ultimate goal is to manage business operations for an NFL or NBA organization. Kansas.
Kentucky.
Madeline volunteers in the trauma unit at a hospital and plans to attend medical school to become a surgeon. She's a trained ballet dancer and was vice president of her college's club lacrosse team. Kentucky.
Louisiana.
Bethany plans to become a certified cosmetologist and open her own spa. This Ellen DeGeneres fan has 2 pet goats and proudly raises awareness for mental health. Louisiana.
Maine. Brooke is from a small town with fewer than 1,000 residents. This former USCAA women's national soccer champion plans to start her own fitness and beauty blog in the future. Maine.
Georgia. Hawaii. Idaho. Illinois. Indiana. Iowa. Kansas. Kentucky. Louisiana. And Maine. Maryland.
Adriana is an actor and model who is currently pursuing theater and communications degrees. She attended the cheerleading world championships 4 times, winning the gold medal in 2011 and the silver in 2012. Maryland.
Massachusetts.
Julia was born with an underdeveloped right hand, but it hasn't slowed her down. This basketball star is the media relations director for a charity that celebrates breast cancer survivors. She is Massachusetts.
Michigan.
Krista is currently pursuing her degree in communications. This artistic 24-year-old model enjoys painting, writing, and drawing in her spare time. Michigan.
Minnesota.
Meredith currently works at a cemetery as part of the maintenance crew. She is studying retail merchandising and plans to eventually be a buyer or financial planner for a major athletic wear company. Minnesota.
Mississippi.
Ashley won 2 national cheerleading championships and is currently a cheer and tumbling coach. This vinyl record collector trained competitively in gymnastics and can walk on her hands for 50 yards. Mississippi.
Missouri.
Bailey is proud to be the first African-American contestant to ever represent her state at Miss USA. This 23-year-old volunteers with an organization that provides resources to victims of sexual assault. Missouri.
Montana.
Brooke is a member of a gaming club called the Nerd Herd. This self-taught artist's goal is to become a director of animated films and one day own a movie studio. Montana.
Nebraska.
Jasmine enjoys playing guitar and writing Christian songs. This former Miss Teen USA contestant is interested in interior design and is currently taking real estate classes. Nebraska.
Nevada.
6 years ago, Lauren was a passenger in a car that was hit by a drunk driver. This 23-year-old former cheerleader is now a supporter of the organization Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Nevada.
New Hampshire.
Sarah is a speech pathologist who got her master's from Boston University. This 26-year-old also has a degree in communication sciences from Emerson College, where she graduated #1 in her class. New Hampshire.
Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, and New Hampshire. New Jersey.
Chavi was born in India and speaks 3 different languages. She's a certified personal trainer and recently launched an online fitness company. New Jersey.
New Mexico.
Ashley is a licensed real estate agent who won her state title on her 8th try. She plans to develop a series of videos for children that will promote confidence, physical fitness, and mental wellness. New Mexico.
New York.
Hannah enjoys riding motorcycles and works as a sportscaster in the motorsports industry. This 25-year-old proudly volunteers with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, granting wishes for terminally ill children. New York.
North Carolina.
Katie is a full-time model and former orthopedic device saleswoman. This 27-year-old hopes to be the female Anthony Bourdain one day, combining her love of food and hosting. She is North Carolina.
North Dakota.
Raquel is a volleyball player, coach, and future physical education teacher. This 24-year-old decided to give pageantry a try after injuring herself playing basketball. North Dakota.
Ohio.
Dinah contracted an infection 5 years ago that led to congestive heart failure. Soon after, this former soccer star created a charity to help children with life-altering deformities. Ohio.
Oklahoma.
Alex graduated in the top 10% of her class. She was inducted into Delta Mu Delta, an international honor society recognizing the country's top business students. Oklahoma.
Oregon.
Liz studied karate for 7 years and dance for 15. This 26-year-old has a cat whiskers collection and recently went on a month-long trip to Thailand. Oregon.
Pennsylvania.
Cassandra is proud of her volunteer work with veteran hospitals and the USO. This working model once struggled with an eating disorder, so she now helps young women battling with body issues. Pennsylvania.
Rhode Island.
Kelsey has been an advocate for breast cancer awareness since her mother was diagnosed last year. This future child psychologist enjoys interviewing influential people on her podcast. She is Rhode Island.
New Jersey. New Mexico. New York. North Carolina. North Dakota. Ohio. Oklahoma. Oregon. Pennsylvania. And Rhode Island.
her creativity to the fact that she's left-handed. This 23-year-old former cheerleader spent 8 weeks in Italy studying philosophy and visiting hospitals. South Carolina.
South Dakota. Tessa is a former Division I track athlete. This 26-year-old public speaker has her master's degree in communication studies and taught herself how to play guitar. South Dakota. Tennessee.
Allie Sutton recently completed her Doctor of Jurisprudence at the National School of Law. She's new to pageantry, but feels her work as a philanthropist has prepared her for the job of Miss USA. Tennessee.
Texas. Nancy is proud to work in the booming gas and oil industry. This 27-year-old enjoys outdoor activities including hunting, fishing, and archery. She is Texas. Utah.
Bailey helps coordinate 5K fun runs across the United States. Thanks to her heels, this 23-year-old stands at nearly 6.5 feet tall in this evening gown. Utah.
Vermont. Madison struggled with her weight growing up because of bad eating habits. This 21-year-old promotes organ donation after watching her uncle pass away as he waited for a transplant. Vermont. Virginia.
Jacqueline is a counselor at a residential treatment facility for eating disorders. This former all-academic, all-American once went upside-down ziplining in Costa Rica during a mission trip. Virginia.
Washington. Alex works as both a realtor and design consultant. This trumpet-playing dancer was once diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and was told she would never walk again. Washington. West Virginia.
Lauren enjoys hip-hop karaoke and going to amusement parks. This 22-year-old has had years of training with classical instruments, including piano and trumpet. West Virginia.
Wisconsin. Skylar walked the runway at New York Fashion Week despite being just 5'7". This Carrie Underwood fan has been taking voice lessons since she was 7 years old. Wisconsin. Wyoming.
During college, Michaela was an active volunteer for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Upon graduating, she worked in Spain and Portugal for 3 months on a research project. Wyoming.
South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming.
Let's hear it one more time for our 51 stunning contestants. They've each done an incredible job, and thanks to all of you who supported Smile Train by clicking on the Facebook Live donate button.
We'd like to extend a special thanks to Mandalay Bay Resort, Las Vegas, the official host of the 2017 Miss USA pageant. I'd also like to thank our parents, judges, state directors, and the entire Miss USA production team, especially our president, Paula Shugart.
And I, of course, have to thank my amazing co-host for the night, Deshauna. You were wonderful. And I don't know about all of you guys, but I am dying to know who made it to the top 10. So do not forget to join us back here at the Mandalay Bay Resort in Las Vegas on Sunday, May 14th for Miss USA 2017 live on Fox. But before we go, let's bring out all the ladies one last time.
Thank you and good night.
Good night.